gonna pull up some fun facts. These are fun facts about the human body.
Okay.
Right? And so, listen, don't be, alarmed about these questions because I didn't know the answers to 99% of these. So, don't feel bad if you don't get them right because one of us has to have the answers, so I have the answers, and that doesn't mean that.
On your note card.
Yeah, I have my note cards. It doesn't mean that I knew these things either. So,
Okay.
But I think these are pretty fun. Okay, so you can go first, sir. How many different scents can the human nose detect?
Shoot.
Think big. I'm gonna give you a hint. Think big.
1 million.
Oh, that's a good number. Travis?
500,000.
So Sarah's gonna be closer. It's 1 trillion. Trillion. I didn't even know that. I would have never said a trillion.
A trillion?
I would have probably guessed.
We're so sophisticated.
Well, and it really,
Our brain.
that, and actually, when I saw that number, I didn't believe it, so I had to go look it up, and it is accurate based on some research articles I read. What's interesting is how little of our sense of smell we use. I mean, it's obviously very, very, distinct, but really it's a sense that we don't use that often.
Well, I guess at one point we needed it for survival, and now we don't.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I always think about those movies where I guess the main character is using 100% of their brain or 80% of their brain because we don't use but a certain percentage of it. So I always really pay attention to those movies where that's the plot.
I wonder what we're capable of.
Yeah, facts.
If we could just.
Did you guys see that movie Limitless with?
Yes.
Did you see
Was it Bradley Cooper?
Yeah, that's it, Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, Bradley Cooper.
Dude, I love that movie. I thought
It's a
it was
good movie.
so
I haven't
good.
seen it in a very long time.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
I always
But yeah,
wonder if we can
I do
float.
love some Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper's a good-looking dude.
Yeah.
I can appreciate a good-looking man, and Bradley Cooper is a very good-looking man.
You do be doing that.
All right, moving on. So this is kind of an odd one. The average human body has enough fat to make how many bars of soap?
10.
Ooh, that's a good guess. Travis?
50.
The answer is 7.
Dang.
Sarah, 2 for 2. All right. Yeah, that's interesting. You guys ever watch that movie, Fight Club? Remember Fight Club? The guy was stealing the liposuction out of the plastic surgery trash to make soap. You remember that? Travis, did you see Fight Club?
I remember the movie. I never saw it.
I haven't seen it.
That's a classic. I love that movie.
Brad
If
Pitt is
anyone
in it.
hasn't watched Fight Club, Brad Pitt and Edward Norton, it's a great one. But yeah, so in that movie, just on a side note of that movie, this guy was stealing the fat from plastic surgery offices out of their hazardous waste cans and making soap out of it.
Gross.
That was funny. Okay, here's talking about the human brain, Sarah. How much information can the human brain hold? Now, this is going to be in megabytes, gigabytes, terabytes, petabytes. So think on computers. Do you know computers? This may be a hard one. I should not say that. Are you computer
No.
tech savvy? Okay.
No.
Travis, you're computer tech savvy, right?
When it comes to megabytes, I always think of MP3 players
Okay.
from back in the day.
right.
16 gig, 8 gig,
Right,
4
okay.
gigs.
So how much can the human brain hold if it was a hard drive?
32 gigabytes.
Okay.
If not, I could always add them.
What's the biggest?
Maybe 64.
Oh, well, it
or
goes up to, I don't even know.
No, what's the biggest, is there, are
So
we talking
megabytes, gigabytes, terabytes, petabytes. I don't know what's after petabytes.
I know a terabyte is pretty big too. That's a lot of information.
I
Terabyte.
know what a terabyte is.
All right, so the answer is 2,500 terabytes.
I was
so
close.
that's 2.5 million.
Again.
I was not close.
2.5 million gigabytes. That's crazy. I didn't think it would be that much. A petabyte, it's 2.5 petabytes or 2,500 terabytes. That's an enormous amount of data. Because when you think about data, a terabyte of data is an enormous amount of data. That's insane. And our bodies can hold 25, or our brains can hold 2,500 of those. It all goes back to what you're saying about, I feel like our brains are just on, if our brains had a level from 1 to 10, we're on 1.5, I think.
Yeah, they need to make something, they need to
Like a limitless drug?
Yeah,
I agree.
Facts.
they need to invent it.
Okay, this one's kind of funny.
They probably will with that nano thing. We're
That's
gonna
what I'm
give you
talking
a
about.
shot and it's going to
turn on all your brain.
Yeah.
But would you sign up for that? I think Elon Musk is, Elon Musk has a company, I forgot the name of it, but it has something to do with implants in your body. Do you know that one, Travis?
I don't know the name
It's
of
not
it.
his like most famous. Obviously, SpaceX and
Starlink.
Tesla and Starlink are his big things. But he does have an implant company, and I don't know a whole lot about it. He doesn't talk about it as much. But that might be what
He's
they're working.
probably like, he's like, because when it comes out, I'm going to do it. And then I'm going to make another company and more companies.
I know, man.
Keep making
that guy
more
makes
money.
more companies. I know.
I think it's called Neuralink.
This one, Neuralink. That's
Yeah,
right.
Neuralink.
Yeah, Neuralink. Excellent work. Okay, this one is kind of funny. So the average person will produce how much flatulence? That's farts. Enough.
Yes.
How much farts to fill how many party balloons over their lifetime? So like the average person, if you collected all their farts, how many party balloons could you fill?
I don't know, like 1 million.
That'd be a lot. Charles?
I could bring in the post-production.
50,000.
Okay, you guys must fart a lot. It's actually it's actually 2,000. And then when I was working on this, one of my friends was talking to me. He's like, "Well, how many people would it take to fill up a Zeppelin with farts?" Which is the weirdest thing I've ever been asked. I think.
What the heck
What is a Zeppelin? Yeah.
A Zeppelin? Oh, like a blimp,
Oh,
like the Hindenburg.
okay.
Sorry, yeah, Zeppelin, like the blimps.
Yeah,
Like
I
the
know what
Goodyear
that, yeah.
blimp. Okay, so
Just never heard of it.
I feel like that might be the oddest question I've ever been asked, but I wanted to provide an answer. So a Zeppelin is big, really big. So it would take 15,000 people farting their entire lifetime to fill up a Zeppelin.
Oh, God.
And I'm not sure it would fly. I don't know. He asked me, and so I was like, well, I can answer that for you.
It'd be a
I'm
warm
a
flight.
wealth of completely useless information. All right,
About farts.
About
Very
farts,
good
right.
to know.
how much saliva does a person create in a lifetime in gallons?
Gross.
I know, right? It's just gross to think
Like,
about.
where were you just sitting around thinking of these questions at, Dr. Herman?
You know, there's just a wealth of information out there, and I was just looking through interesting medical facts about the human body, and
Oh, God.
people love this stuff. You know, like you post this.
So how much saliva do you
Yeah, in
think?
gallons in a lifetime. Travis, why don't you go first?
100 gallons.
100.
1,000 gallons.
You're closer. 6,000.
Ah, dang.
That's a lot. That's like a small swimming pool.
Facts.
Gross.
I just grossed out Sarah.
Small.
Okay, this one's kind of fun. If you took all the iron in your body and turned it into an object, what object would it be most the size of? So I'm gonna give you 4 objects.
Okay.
This is if you took. So we know we have iron in our blood,
Yeah.
right? So we took all that. Would it be the size of a paper clip, a key, a fork, or a padlock? This is a multiple choice.
Fork.
Fork. It's a good guess.
I was gonna say a baseball, but I say a padlock.
Okay, so it's actually a key. So it's 3 to 4
Did
grams.
you even say baseball at the...
No. I thought we were like coming up with the object.
Oh, I like that guess, man. It's creative.
I was like,
Yeah.
I mean,
you
it's
take
not
that here?
necessarily the right answer, but it was an answer, and I appreciate your input.
Absolutely.
And it's kind of sports related, which I appreciate as well. So
Absolutely.
well done, but key.
A key.
Yeah, a
Like
key.
a car key?
Like a smaller key. Well, I don't know.
Like a key to your house.
Yeah.
Or a key to your heart.
Oh, Travis, man. I know we have you around here for good
How
reason.
Just kidding.
So how many cells did the body produce every second? You know, our bodies are constantly turning over our cells, right? Constantly. And we have tons of cells in our body. So how many cells every second does our body create?
Every second.
Think of a big number.
Millions, I'm
That's
sure.
pretty good. You can go with millions.
10 million.
Okay. Travis?
5 million.
You guys are pretty close. 2.5 million.
I was gonna say 2 million.
Which means that in our lifetime, our body produces 10 trillion cells.
Dang.
That's insane. If you took all the blood vessels in your body and stretched them out into one line, how many miles would it be? How many miles of blood vessels do we have? This one blew my mind. But it makes sense when you think
2
about it.
miles.
2 miles? Charles?
I would say it's a high number. I'd say like 75.
How about 60,000?
Dang.
And so at first you're like, there's no way that's right. But when you start counting the capillaries, which are just microscopic, like we have an insane amount of capillaries in our body.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, the blood vessel wouldn't be very large around, but 60,000 miles.
Dang.
All right, the last 2 are about the body, and they're kind of plastic surgery related, and I found these hilarious because they're related questions. What is the size of the average breast in the United States?
Ooh, I like this question.
All right, Travis, go first.
I don't know, like what the
So number and cup size.
right. All I know is like B, D, A, Z, triple Z,
Z, woo.
something like that.
Who you been hanging out with?
No, we just literally had this conversation the other day over here.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think most women might have like a 36C.
This is like, and this is unfair as well, but I'll say a 38B.
Okay. I was way off on this one. So the answer in the United States, the average breast size is 34 double D.
Dang, I was gonna say
And
double D.
the reason for that, I think, is because in the United States, at least at this point in time, we have a large number of people who are overweight. Well, where does weight go when you're overweight? And if you're female, it goes in your breasts. And so, like, at first I was like, what? That can't be right. But actually, you know, now that you think about it, if you look at the percentage of people who are overweight, I mean, it's believable. So 34 double D, that's according to the International Journal of Fashion Design, Technology, and Education, who actually did a study on this. Glad to know that. So I got to thinking, well, okay, maybe that's skewed because people are overweight. What would be the average size of breast in a country like Japan, which has an extremely low level of people being overweight?
A 34B.
Travis?
I'll say a 34A.
So you guys are right on point. It's 32B. That's the average size.
That's like what I was when I was like
Yep.
an adolescent.
Well, when I think, you know, and so that when that question popped up, I was thinking, okay, what's the average size of people that I do breast augmentations on? Well, the average size is a B cup. But then on the other hand, I was like, well, duh, I do a lot of breast reductions as well. And so that, you know, the average breast reduction might start at like a triple D or E or F. And so you have to like even all that out. And when you do, it comes out to double D. So you guys did good. You guys were pretty close on a lot of those.
Yeah, I think I did better than I usually do.
No, you were good. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you participating. And honestly, if you guys had asked me, I would have been. These questions are just so esoteric that, I mean, I probably could never come up with
Yeah,
the right
like
answer.
there's no reason.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to
that.
know how many miles of blood vessels you have in you, but now you do. So.